to talk about the hidden gem that's existing right now over in Jamaica Plain. Can you tell me about the artist space over at 76 Atherton Street and how the African American Master Artist in Residency Program came to be?
Well, AAMARP, as it's called, the acronym, was created by Dana Chandler, Jr., who was a professor at Simmons College. She's now a professor emeritus in the art department. And he found himself in a dilemma when his studio was ransacked back in the late 70s. And so he was able to get Northeastern to come to his aid by providing a space for him. And he turned that space into a much larger space, which was sectioned off. And so 14 artists were brought into the space adjacent to his space. Mm. So that's how it began. And currently we have 14 artists in the program who are working there. It's a working space. We have 3 galleries. The Chuck Turner Gallery for, very important community activist who's passed and who was very instrumental in supporting AAMARP, as well as we've had another gallery called the Ed Strickland Gallery, who was one of the former directors of the program after Dana. And then there's a third gallery, which is in Dana's name, the Dana C. Chandler Jr. Gallery.
That's beautiful. And Dana Chandler created this space in the 1970s, so it's been ongoing for the past 46, 47 years.
That's correct.
Incredible. Exactly. So in terms of the artists working out of the space, you mentioned there were 14. How do you go about selecting them?
Lately, this has been something we have established over the last year in inviting young emerging artists to exhibit with us. And in fact, there are 2 artists now currently exhibiting with us in the current 2 shows that we have going on. And the first one, which was Resurgence. Basically, we have opened the doors for young artists to submit and come forward and join us.
Wonderful. I love that you talked about ushering the new artists.
Well, definitely, and most important aspect that we have right now, because most of the membership is a little older now, and we have to mentor and make sure that they can bring it forward in the future.
Excellent.
And we're also hoping that the younger artists that come in with a project.
Right.
It's sort of project specific at this point, because the space that we have needs to be managed in a way that we can maximize the use of the floor space. So we have community or communal spaces that they would be working in.
Beautiful. And in terms of the space itself, at 76 Atherton, there are 2 floors that you work out of, the artist space studios and also the exhibit galleries. And Hakim, as one of the 14 master artists there, can you talk about the work that you've been able to do there and what it means to have a dedicated space for nurturing Black artists?
Oh, it's amazing. In fact, when Dana actually started, it was for the very reason that there were any studios available for artists or to exhibit within Boston. They were very limited. So when I was invited by Dana to come in, I thought it was the beginning of my career, actually, as an artist. Prior to that, I'd been working in the industry of commercial photography. So being around artists, painters in particular, and sculptors, really ignited my career. Having a space is very important. I mean, as a studio practice where you can take it to very different heights. Being a master at printmaking, it was valuable to have a space that could accommodate my machines and my tools in order to grow. So having a studio is extremely important.
Excellent. And Dr. Jackson, affectionately known Reggie. So on May 30th, Thursday, the master artists of AAMARP, they're going to be hosting the exhibition Reclamation, Mind, Body, and Soul.
Yes.
Can you talk about what it means to invite the public into the space and why it was important for you to do this show now?
Well, as part of the objective or the foundation of AAMARP, we see our role as being responsive to the needs of the community. And so it's important for them to be able to have access to us and to the work and to our space. So they can actually see how artists create and also exhibit the work. So it really closes the loop for them to be able to come to openings. We have space that is available for meetings. And we have various groups that come in. We have Summer Institute, where we're bringing in scientists from Ghana, West Africa, the Sena Institute. And we also have programs like Page Academy that may be bringing their young folks in during the summer to see the art and for art programs. So we're trying to really fulfill that responsibility that we see as community artists.
Wonderful, and so wonderful that you are nestled in the community, so it's very, very easy to do that. And what is next on the horizon for AAMARP?
Well, we have a very interesting future in that as it relates to exhibitions, the ICA is going to do a major exhibition. This is the Institute of Contemporary Art down at the Seaport. Is going to do a major exhibition on the work of Dana Chandler and AAMARP. And also we're looking at the MFA doing an exhibition on Alan Rohan Crite, as well as the Stuart Gardner, Isabella, probably got that flipped around. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, as well as the Boston Athenaeum. They're all joining in to do exhibitions on this master artist who was really sort of the dean of African American artists in New England, Alan Rohan Crite. So that's very exciting. We have 3 major exhibits going scheduled, and we'll also be exhibiting at City Hall at the beginning of the year with the Haitian Artists Group as well. So there are lots of different connections that have come our way as a result of being more visible in the community. COVID was quiet, and we're also in the process of managing, how we perform as a nonprofit and tax-exempt organization, so that we're looking for foundational support in terms of, well, obviously funding, but also in terms of management of the program.
Incredible.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think you covered it very well. Very well.
Thank you.
So clearly there's a lot going on at AAMARP. We definitely want the community to get involved and to enjoy the beautiful artwork that's coming out of there. And for you yourself, Reggie, you've essentially been interim director for the past 4 to 5 years. Can you talk about some of your current projects that you're working on?
Well, I can briefly say that I'm working on a project called A Peculiar Freedom, which has to do with free blacks in New England from 1750 to 1860. And we're looking at 5 individuals who distinguish themselves in a variety of ways, mostly literary. Harriet E. Wilson in New Hampshire wrote the first novel by an African American. We have Martin Freeman, who was the first to be a college president. He later moved to Liberia, Monrovia, and created Monrovia College. And we're looking at Lucy Terry Prince, who did the first, poem that was recited, that was later, 100 years later, published in the Springfield Republican paper. And so, and Robert Morris, who was the second attorney to be granted membership of the bar here in Massachusetts. He was from Salem. And there's Loudon Langley, who was also a Vermonter, Vermont farmer, who eventually ended up with the 54th Regiment, and then later moved to Beaufort, South Carolina, and was part of the whole movement just before things turned around after the Civil War.
Wow.
So they're exciting figures, and they're not very well known. And so I'm working with a couple of filmmakers in Vermont, and we have a grant to do the planning, and now we're working on the application and the materials to get the money to do the production of this series. We've pitched it to PBS. GBH is interested, so we're hoping that this two-part series will happen within the next couple of years.
That's incredible. So a lot of fertile ground at AAMARP and in the members. And for our viewers who are interested in seeing the Reclamation exhibition and supporting the artists and the programs that are happening at 76 Atherton Street, how can they do so?
Well, it's just a matter of getting there. We're in Jamaica Plain. Ring the bell to the 4th floor, and the security will let you in, and you get a chance to see the exhibit.
We're actually on the southwest corridor, so Stony Brook would be the Orange Line station that you could take through the MBTA. So we're very accessible.